Ladies, am I right? We all like our own farts. Some shits even. I'm into a little bit of pube tough hanging out. Quite sexual, quite horny, quite brave. I think, if you love someone, you just wouldn't bring up that it's slightly wrong.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Shad and Pete Save the World podcast. It's the podcast version of the live show that everyone already thought was a podcast. We're back for another great episode. I'm Pete, and joining me as always, the Shad to my Pete,
yes,
little Shaddy Wicker, on his big special day. Big boy,
Happy
birthday to you.
You know for a fact I hate the song.
Happy birthday to you, my little guy. Happy birthday, my lover.
Okay.
We have something to tell you.
I always had a feeling about you two.
I've had a feeling about him. I am in love with you. Let's get married. It's
the
Shad's
greatest skip of all.
birthday today. Happy birthday, Shad. Have you had a nice day?
I have had an okay day. It's fine. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I've been saying this to you while we've been down here in Sydney doing these shows, that like I'm 36 today. Yeah. And I've realised that 30 was the last significant birthday I've got for the next 20 years. And then I'll get 50.
Why not 40? Oh, yeah, 40 is not as
I
good
think
as 50.
50 is the one. 50 is the next big one. And then after that, I've got one more birthday that's a celebration. And then every other birthday is a surprise I'm alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. I would like to apologise because we haven't introduced our first guest of the day already. If you're wondering why Pete's voice is more feminine today, it's because it's not Pete. It's a completely separate entity. It is Bec Charlwood. That's the voice that sang with me. Hey,
I was just telling my boyfriend where his wallet was. Ladies, am I right?
Well, how are you? Thanks for doing this. It means the world.
Absolute pleasure. I'm really excited to have a second go at being part of the Shad and Pete world.
It's like the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The SPU.
The SPU. That sounds like an episode of Law and Order.
Yeah.
Dum, dum.
I was looking forward to doing the live show forever, and we tried to tee up so many times, and then when we did it, I had like the worst flu, and I didn't want to tell you guys because I was
Were
worried.
you crook?
That was your
so
flu game.
sick.
That was your Jordan flu game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I was
Kate
like,
Dolan was your Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. Oh, just slam dunking on me. I was a frail in the corner, being like, she's fucking wiping the floor with me.
I
But
tell you, you
she
could've
is
fooled
so
me.
funny. I couldn't
You
be
could have
mad.
fooled me. You seemed in fine form.
You know what? Because for those that don't know the podcast, if they're tuning in first time, we get the leftover problems from our live show where people write down any problems they've got in their life, nothing's off limits, and we solve them on stage. You did the Sydney show.
Yes.
I rummaged through the leftover problems and put them out for this podcast. So the things we do on this podcast are things that we didn't get to in the live show. But in the process of doing so, I found some problems from the show you were at.
No way.
And one of them reminded me of one of the craziest, like sometimes we do, it's a bit of a, look, peel behind the curtain. We're taking the piss a lot in this show. We're mucking around. I know.
This is news to me.
Sometimes we're having a little bit of fun mucking around, but we had
That's
a problem.
good. I was going to come in with pie charts and red string and really try and nut this stuff out.
Yeah.
But that's good to know we're just here for a bit of fun.
Oh, that's really taking a lot of weight off.
Yeah, relax, guys.
Fucking hell.
We're not medical professionals, but
I'm taking my monocle off. Both eyes are blurry.
had on
Pause.
it.
1 second. What is the point? Wait, hold on. Sorry, I've just had a thought about monocles. Don't you just wear one if one eye is bad? If both eyes, you would just get glasses.
But I don't know. I really don't know. I thought a monocle was, the way I've seen it used in movies, it's like in your pocket and you put it up and you read.
Just with one eye.
I think it's more just like a reading device.
wouldn't it
where
make
you
your
go like,
eyes
Is
worse?
it? Because they're wearing it as they're walking around the party. They're like, whoa, and they got their little cane.
Yeah, just be like, ugh, you're ugly.
And you notice they've always got a moustache. You can't wear a monocle if you don't have a moustache.
I don't think a monocle gets just worn around all the time. I think a monocle gets brought out.
They bring it up, do they?
Yeah, I think it's on like a chain.
So it is to read.
And then you just go like, let me see, how much? What?
Yeah, right.
You would go.
I won't be buying this company at all. Good day.
Yeah, so it would the bill would come around and you'd be like,
Is anyone still
been
rocking a monocle? Is that still like somewhere in the world they're still kind of practicing monocle lifestyle?
I reckon if you go to like a foreign country to find treasure, that's when you're going to encounter
a treasure, the
monocle.
more treasure type of countries.
Yes. Country's famous for treasure.
There's someone in Egypt. There's someone still
India,
looking at the
Egypt,
pyramids that's
yes.
like, I've got to get the monocle out
The
for
Caribbean.
this one.
Where
Sorry.
the pirates are as well, obviously.
So I've just gone to do a little Google of do people still wear monocles, and I thought it'll be fun to stop at do people still and just see what people are finding out about the world.
Yeah,
So
that's
these are
great.
the top 3 results. Do people still worship Greek gods?
Yes.
Do people still die from AIDS?
Oh my God.
my God.
And even more pressing, do people still play Battlefield 1? Oh, God. How embarrassing if you were still dying from AIDS. Do people still wear monocles? Okay, first result. Monocles were most prevalent in the late 19th century when you were born.
Yeah,
but
thanks,
are rarely
mate.
worn
You
today,
fucking
you
asshole.
fucking old cunt. Imagine being 36, yuck, grey pubes and all. This is due in large part to advances in optometry, which allow for better measurements of refractive error. That's something I know about because I'm smart.
Yeah.
So that glasses and contact lenses can be described with different strengths in each eye. So
And
yeah,
for those that remember the coin chat in the Jake Smith episode, this is also a time for you to tune out and not listen to the podcast.
I think it can still be seen today, but it is particularly wealthy and powerful people.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Not so wealthy that they can't afford a second bit of glass to see through, but anyway.
Like, big money bags here.
Yeah, I'm making huge cash.
Well,
if
I
you're watching the
usually-
visual component, just imagine how loaded I am. I'm wearing glasses.
Not even, it doesn't even have private health either. He's got to pay for him. each
No,
year.
just full price, whatever. I don't even notice. Loose change menu for a big ball of bitch like me. Fuck, big ball of bitch. That's not what I meant to say.
Big ball of bitch. Like you. Yes, we all agree.
Yeah, big ball of bitch.
All the time. Actually, I want your opinion on this, and you can bring it up on Alex's episode when you record it straight after this. Peek behind the curtain. So, yesterday I said pulling the piss, and he's like, people don't.
No,
Never heard that.
never heard
before in
that.
my life.
It's
Pulling the piss.
You take the piss.
But
And you pull someone's
pulling
leg.
is the same as taking.
Pulling my leg.
Like in a thesaurus.
No, but you wouldn't pull piss, would you? Because the piss is already coming
But
out.
you
You can't
pull.
grab
But hang on, just to be
Yeah.
a devil on the shoulder, you pull a beer.
Yeah, yeah, because you got to pull the handle.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, Beck.
No!
You suck. my birthday, mate. So clever.
Misogynist.
By your logic, someone's. Do you think the stream of piss is something you can hold on to and pull out?
But I don't know, but taking. Well, you can't take. Like you can take a piss, but you
Let me
can't be
just pull a
taking
glass
the
of
piss.
water out of the.
I just had the vision, like in my head, a little image appeared, and it was like, you know how clowns pull like all of the
Yeah.
handkerchiefs out, and they go, ah,
But it's me with the piss.
standing up in like the forest, being like, look at this, and you're like, Beck, you don't need your hands, you can just push it out. It's all right. Woohoo!
Wait, no, but taking the piss is like.
Being-
You might as well just say, "Are you pissing?"
No,
You've
What is taking the piss then
being
mean?
silly.
being
Yes.
silly,
Like I go,
taking the piss out of someone.
I just went to get a Kit Kat from the shops, and they're charging $7. That's
They're
taking
taking
a
a
piss.
piss.
But yes, I know I'm not that stupid. Okay.
Well, you can't because you thought it was pulling.
No, but you can't like take the piss, like because you're saying, okay, are you pulling the piss? It's not actually you're. Okay.
Would you use
I'm
it-
lost in my own brain
Would
now.
you use it in the same way that you would use taking
Yes,
the piss? Is that
that's
you
exactly
mean?
what I was using it for.
Pulling the piss.
Okay, here
I
we
would
go.
say-
Taking the piss.
Thank you.
Let's have a look. In the 1600s, King Charles... Fuck off, it has origins back to this.
Yes, read it all out, word for word.
In the 1600s, King Charles I ordered his subjects to save their urine to make saltpeter, or sodium nitrate, one of the main 3 components used to make
my name.
gunpowder. Saltpeter, that's when you're a bit angry. Saltpeter men collected the urine as well as the urine-soaked earth in the barns and sheep pens. So that's the origin of the saying of taking the piss, because these people used to transport the urine around. So it used to
But
be
what
around
does
the
that have
term
to
of being
do with-
piss proud when people would be...
What does that have to do with, like, showing disrespect? Because that's how you would say taking the piss now. It's like, you've
Yeah.
disrespected me, you're taking the piss. You
So-
fucking rat dog cunt. What's the origin of
So
rat dog
piss
cunt?
proud. So piss proud means unnecessarily arrogant. So to take the piss out of someone is to knock them
okay.
down a peg.
Sure.
Okay.
So nothing in there says pulling.
Can you Google pulling the piss and see if...
Yeah, thank you.
Sure, I feel like that's going to give me Pornhub.
Of them just going like this. Someone be like, yeah.
Stream is coming out of their pee hole. Okay.
Yeah, literally first result when you Google pulling
Says
the piss
taking
is
the
taking
piss.
the piss. You've invented something.
Did you mean?
But they're
taking the piss?
friends, you know? It kind of means the same thing. I just think, if you love someone, you just wouldn't bring up that it's slightly wrong. I think Anyway, something to ponder later.
Yeah, okay, so this is a sort of a more deeply coded issue. There was a thin veil of language.
Yeah.
But it was more hyper personal.
I still think it's relevant.
Okay, then we'll bring it up and we'll come back to you with results.
Okay,
so
you know what? We'll
much.
put it out to anyone who's listening. If they think that pulling the piss, whatever side you stand on pulling the piss, comment on this episode
Yeah.
and let us know which team
And
you're
if
in.
you-
Team pulling or
Like,
team taking.
And if you message us with an insult and you say, hey, I didn't find that to be a particularly engaging thing to talk about, quite frankly, you're licking the shit, cunt. No, seriously. Don't come out here licking the shit while we're trying to have an interesting conversation.
Like, I feel like you've obviously, I think there's a phrase for it where you like mix euphemisms. So like a mate of mine used
Is
to
it like
always
a
do it.
disorder or something?
Well, I used to call them Rosebornisms because my mate Jacoby Roseborn used to do it all the time. So he would say, for some reason, one day he was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like little dog, big sea. And I was like, that's not the saying. It's like
dog,
big
big
fish,
sea.
small pond. It's like little dog, big sea.
That's really funny. Little dog, big C.
What does that mean?
I get it, but the vibe is there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's not the right thing, but you still understand. So like, so partly kind of makes sense. But I was trying to think of some other ones that he had.
This
he
is-
was like a what was he called? A stitch in time's worth two in the bush, which is not.
That one, no, I won't pay
And what's
that.
that supposed to be?
Well,
Two in the pink, one in the sea.
Yeah, you know what I mean, babe.
What is the original that he's missed?
So a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Okay, and what did he say?
And he said a stitch in time's worth two in the bush, which I think is many hands save a stitch in time or something like
Okay, sure.
that. So he's
My
like,
little
it's-
brother used to think that it was that's a gibbon, not that's
Oh, awesome.
a gibbon, and that was a great day when we were like, "Sorry, what are you saying?" He's like,
Awesome.
"That's a gibbon," and we were like,
What did he
"Never
think
let
a
him
gibbon
forget
was?
it." He was just like, "Yeah, when you see a gibbon, you know it's a gibbon."
You know what?
Yeah.
It's starting to resonate.
Yeah.
When you see a gibbon, it's a given.
It's a gibbon.
Yeah, it is a
It
gibbon,
couldn't be
you
anything
know.
else, which is not true because there's a lot of monkeys that look very similar to a gibbon.
What does a gibbon look like?
Could be a marmoset. You never know.
Oh,
Gibbon's
I
got a bit
know
of. Gibbon looks a bit sexy in that photo. Gibbon's like turning it on a little bit.
Yeah,
I
they do
didn't-
love a good pose.
So when you
the
see a gibbon, you know it's a gibbon.
That is amazing.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know a gibbon was a type of primate. It's good to learn. That's the great thing about this podcast is it is fun to sit down and have a bit of a giggle with your mates, but it's more fun to evolve your own knowledge sometimes.
Yeah, man.
And that's what's great about you, man. 36 years on this earth, giving people those moments, connecting human beings like me, like Bec. Another host might be pulling the piss, but not a bloke like you, man. You come out here with respect and dignity, and that's why it's been such a fucking honour to be
Is
your...
this the last episode? What's going on?
I have cancer. Happy birthday.
For a second, I was worried you'd be like, I have AIDS. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
so this isn't a big deal.
Yeah. What do you get a guy who's got everything?
Yeah, Battlefield 1, AIDS, and a monocle. So we mentioned it before. The way this podcast works, we're solving problems that we've had from live shows that we didn't quite get to. I think we've
Yes.
got a big stack of problems we should get to, and we've had our fun.
Yes.
Now we've had our entree. Let's have our main course. Let's dive in, get your knife and fork out. Enjoy. First
Big
problem. Let's get
spoon.
stuck in.
We'll kick straight into this one, I reckon. I found this fascinating. I love when we get a bit of a novel at the show. My friend and I can't stop fighting over the right kind of guy to pick on our dating app. Okay, we've got two
Okay.
options here. Number one, a guy proud as punch, another great saying, next to his...
Are you pulling the punch, brother?
a guy who's proud as punch next to his 6-foot aquarium with his thumbs up, or the shirtless dude with his hat backwards, some pubes exposed.
Okay.
Okay, posing with a barra that he caught and his thumb in the fish's mouth. Those are the two options.
Wow.
Now, obviously, both amazing catches.
Great specimens. I understand why they're having trouble.
So
it sparked something for me doing this because I'm staying with a mate of mine who is recently back into the dating game, and we did this in a previous
I
episode.
think you could say back in the aquarium game.
She's back in the aquarium.
He's
she's
wondering
with
what
the
to put
fish.
in there.
she's snoozing with the fishes, as the great saying is known as. But she's
You pulling the fish?
You know what I'm saying, mate? Little dog, big C. She is back in the dating zone. We did this in a previous episode with Reed Down. So in the lead up seeing this problem, I thought you would also be a great person to have a look at this, because not only will we rate these two options on the dating app, but she has sent me a couple of, she saves it in a folder called The Blobs. And it's like some of the interactions or people that have interacted with her on her Hinge. So we'll go through these guys, but I also have a couple of other gems that I wouldn't mind getting your opinion on, whether they should get a message back. So,
Sure.
First,
Or if she goes by the classic saying, plenty more blobs in the pool. You know?
yeah, there are plenty more blobs in the pool.
There are fucking heaps of blobs in the pool. That's undeniable.
So who do we think out of these first ones for the problem? The 6 foot aquarium, thumbs up.
You want to be with the aquarium guy every day of the week?
I don't.
No?
No. Some of you have never slept with a man with an aquarium, and it's really showing. I.
Fuck. I've never been more insulted on this podcast in my life. I don't have the vibe of an aquarium fucker.
Sorry.
This broad's calling me straight. No, I haven't fucked a bloke with an aquarium. You're right, Bec, and your point.
She has absolutely picked you, mate.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I am totally averse to sleeping with anyone in the aquarium. I've done it twice. One time the guy was just like sloppy root, no good. Other guy was one of the most awful experiences. He had this aquarium and he was really passionate about caring for the fish. He named all the fish and everything. And initially I was like, that's so
Green
sweet.
flag, you would think.
He cares for like another creature other than himself. But then I found out that he only got the fish because he didn't trust dogs.
Right.
That's not where the story ends. That would be crazy.
I don't trust dogs, but
I
I
don't
trust
trust dogs.
these fish.
He's like, the fish, you can trust him. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
sure. But he's lived with his mum, and he was like, by the way, I'm really into like loud sex. And I was like,
I want the fish to be able to hear.
I want the fish to, yeah,
That's a thick tank. All
Yeah.
right, we've got to be loud.
double glass. You got to break through, you know? And I was like, oh, so your mum, we need to wait till your mum leaves. And he said, no. Don't worry. I bought her noise cancelling headphones for this reason. I was like, what do you mean? And so like, we were like, he's like, don't worry. So then we're like making out, getting down to business. And then he stops and he texts his mum saying, put on the headphones.
Oh my, that is so fucked.
I was
Oh my
sorry,
God.
You've just given your mum the heads up that you're about to bang a bitch.
Just texting her the headphone emoji. That's my boy.
That's my boy.
Good on you, son.
Just listening to bark.
Yeah.
Just like, oh. Like, that's just one of his great symphonies. He's fucking that chick up there. That's
Oh
crazy.
God! So he texts mum. All right, it's
Yeah.
on. And did you go? I'm out. See ya.
Well, no, unfortunately, he was really hot, so I stayed. But then while we were doing it, the phone buzzed. So she texted back, and the whole time we were doing it, I was like, "What did she text back? Like, was it just a thumbs up emoji?
Yeah.
Was it like words of encouragement?"
The batteries are dead. I can hear
Yeah.
everything.
Do you know I don't know where the charger is. Help.
Can I get your Spotify Premium login, please?
Yeah.
That's all I could think about the whole time. And then afterwards, I was like, if we hook up, I don't want your mom to be in the house. And he was like, it's like not a big deal. I was like, it is.
He's like, I can only really do it when she's around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only it's like the most comfortable way
Yeah.
for me.
I told you that the kink is loud sex. It's actually I need mum
Yeah.
in the fucking building.
Did he at least make you dinner afterwards? Like a big plate of flakes or something? Like a big,
No, she did. Mum did.
a big plate of fish flakes?
You know what's crazy? He made me one of the worst meals I've ever had, which was
Fish. Every time you come over, he's got one less.
He's got another one being like, this is how much I care about you.
A magic
I've
goldfish
killed
on
Roger
toast.
to
This is
show
Daryl.
you. I saw him looking at you through the tank and I didn't like it.
That is so fucking crazy.
Fucked, dude. Man. I had a friend of mine who went, she was like, told me the story about when she was single for a while. And she's like, I was just kind of keen to just get back into it. And I was talking to this guy and he was in Byron. We live in Brisbane. And she was like, he seemed really cool. He's quite hot. So I was like, well, I'll go down to Byron. I'll spend the weekend and I'll root this dude and get back on the horse. And
Wait,
she like,
sorry, you went up on a trip with her?
no, she went. She was
Okay,
telling me about
alright.
this trip. And she's like, I just wanted to get back on it. So I was like, I'll go down there. I like Byron. We'll go. She goes down to see this dude. And she's like, everything from the moment I got there was like, this is fucked. What have I done? So she gets there. First thing was guy's mattress was just on the floor. And I was like, it's Byron. Like, you know what I mean? You're going down to see a guy in Byron. You're lucky it's not in the back of a van, right? Mm-hmm. But she goes, that wasn't the part that was most fucked. It was like the bed mattress was on the floor. But then it was, the room was filled with ships in bottles. Like, you know, like the little like ships in the bottles that you make. I was like, oh, so he's just like got heaps of them on the wall and stuff. She goes, no. On the wall, on the shelves, on the floor. She's like, I had to step over these bottles. And like, I can only imagine that it's like littered across the floor, all of these little like.
So dusty. They're hard to fucking.
I was like, did he make them? She goes, yeah, he was telling me like how he's made all of these ones. I was like, how many was there? She goes, probably like 30.
No.
I was like, get fucked,
That's
dude.
too many.
It's like all these things. I was like, so you just like that's a psychopath thing, you know what I mean? Like, is that particular? He's kind of
And having to have it in the room where you sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing he had other areas he could have put them in.
For sure, surely, like the lounge room, maybe.
Yeah.
I just think it's amazing that some people seem to have like a complete inability to see their living space how a stranger is going to see it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I had, there's nothing like objectively wrong with having your little collection or whatever your little hobby is. But if it's all crammed together in a room with a woman that you're taking in, put
them in the cupboard.
At no part, some of you goes,
Yeah.
this isn't going to look great.
Yeah.
For me.
But
I like that you specified that it is mostly men by being like, when you bring a woman over, because boys decorating is crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't walked, like, back in the day, the dark days, you just would walk into someone's house and be like, I don't think they've lived in a home before. This is their first time. They've never seen the inside of a house and they're just giving it a go. Like, just be like, I think that's where a sheet goes.
I think there's a...
Bunched up in the corner
Yeah.
of a mattress on the floor.
just a recliner in the bathroom.
Yeah, camping chair lounge room. I think there's an Instagram page that's like the lads are decorating, and it's like teaching fellas how to
Is there?
like decorate a home, make it feel. It's something like that.
I've been getting a lot of like aesthetic Instagram reels now because it's I've been looking at stuff trying to do like an office space, and Sonia's been sending me heaps of now they're just popping up, and there's some stylish fellas out there doing some good stuff. Big thing I've learned is just it's all about lamps. I'm all into lamps now.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking
big,
of,
white little-
sorry,
Millions of
I have to
lamps.
show you something that we got in this week.
Whoa! Why wasn't that on at the beginning of the pod?
I can leave it on if you
It's
want.
adding
Or you can
depth.
turn it off.
Oh my god!
So if you're not watching the visual component, what just happened? She Beck
Put it
pressed
back on. We
Beck
need the
pressed
depth
a
of
Oh,
the
button.
room.
sorry.
Beck pressed a button, and a small little Mexican woman came out of the cupboard and turned on all the lamps.
Let's rate some dating profiles like we had
please.
previously. A returning segment.
This is. Do you feel like in a cut, like, because we're all in relationships, it's the funnest thing
It's
to look
great.
at single people, and just their life is a game to us now.
Yeah.
It's silly and it doesn't mean anything.
I really
I
want
hate to be back out there.
I think you know how there's all like right now dating comedy shows is like all the rage.
Yeah.
I think there should be a ticketed section that's like behind a glass panel for couples,
Yeah.
and you like hold up little like binoculars and you watch everyone, be,
Your little monocles.
and you're a little higher than everyone else.
Yeah.
and you just get to watch them like try to figure it out. That would be so much fun.
Just go. "Aw."
It's fucking rough to watch someone flirt. It's really tough.
It's some brutal shit. Okay, I'll give you some dating profiles before
Alright.
we get into the
Please.
problem. So here's one that my mate has encountered.
I just read the first sentence of that.
This is great. So this fella, I'll keep him nameless. I named him last time. I don't feel like I want to name him.
Yeah, go on.
So this fella, like, Hinge profile.
Opening line.
This is his photo. I'm just showing the photo to Bec. There we go.
Okay.
And
Can you tell me his age? Just I only saw the bottom half of his face.
the age, I think he's 40. It's not showing me the age, but
Okay. 40 is generous for a guess, is what I would say.
yeah, probably. The one
Please don't say his name now.
I'm not saying his name. The one I might show his picture in the video though. The one thing you should know about me is this is the prompt on Hinge. Okay, this is what he's written. I smell very nice. Looking for connection and chemistry. I'm tall, 185 centimeters, confident, active, straight to the point, independent, intelligent, affectionate, spiritual, and a foodie. I always smell very nice as a fascinating opener.
I mean, I feel like you can't say that about yourself.
100%
Someone
that's
else
a good
has to say it.
Yeah.
It's too creative. Like, I smell good.
So that's the compliment he's obviously received a lot on dates.
Because also
Well,
we
you
like
smell really nice.
all of our own smells. Like, it's like, we all like our own farts. Some shits even.
Oh, extending an olive branch.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Sure.
smell like everyone else's shit. That's crazy. That like doesn't smell bad like everyone else's.
Your Hinge profile. My shit smells very nice.
Literally, my shit don't stink. So you can't be the one that's
you
like,
can't
I
be an
smell
objective
good.
judge of your own anything, really.
Yeah.
I have a top 3 best smelling comedians list.
Oh,
Would you like to hear it?
yeah, for sure.
Please.
This is
Obviously.
Australian male comedians.
Okay.
All right.
It's going to be helpful.
This is the closest thing to that Jeffrey Dahmer film I've seen in a real world application. But yeah, go on.
She's still working on the
Why?
taste.
Yeah, no, you've got your little list of people that smell good. Go on.
Yeah.
Whatever. People are going to love this. So,
By the way, if you come up on this list, chances are you smell like Bec's shit because she's so don't take it as quite the compliment you fucking
Yeah.
think it is.
I don't think her
Wait.
smell profile is something to be confident in.
All right, so who
Yeah.
smells like your shit, man?
no, but you know what I'm talking about? You guys have done a shit that you're like, it doesn't smell. But you're like, I know other people. It doesn't smell the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Please look me in the eyes and convince me that it's a yes.
No, I can completely understand where you're coming from.
All right, here's my list. Fuck you. You've ruined it. Number 1 is Tommy Little.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
believe that.
Smells amazing. Smells rich, because he is. Then Ivana Estageta.
I can believe that.
Yeah, I'd believe
Yeah.
that as well.
And then Nick Cody.
I think Cody would be like an oak, smelling like a rugged.
Yeah,
sort
like
of-
a cedar. It's like it was
Yeah,
like
like
a
a
cedar
cedar.
He'd have like
cologne
a
that he had.
cologne.
Yeah, hang on the money.
That would
Yeah.
be like wood. He looks like wood. He's a bloke.
Yeah, I feel like Ivan's got a little bit of like, I don't know, like a bit of like cinnamon, like a bit of a spice to it.
Oh, his was more like citrusy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. I was going to say citrus for Tommy,
Oh.
but I'm guessing no now.
No, Tommy would be like a.
More of a bold, kind of stronger.
I just know it'd be like a David Beckham brand.
I don't know what the smell was, but it was expensive.
Yeah, right.
Is
It smells
David
like
Beckham
money.
an expensive one?
But would he be? Oh no, not
Okay.
generally.
It's a Chemist Warehouse front of the building, I think.
No,
It
he goes to
it
Maya
wouldn't
for
be in
this.
it wouldn't be in a rectangle bottle. I know that. For a
Nah,
fact.
it's a shape.
It'd
It's got
be in
some
a-
kind of
it's a
funky.
shape.
yeah.
It'd be glass that somehow.
I think it goes going from Tommy Little down to Cody. I think it gets more rigid, the bottle, as you go down the list.
Yes.
Like we'll complicate
A
a
toddler
bottle.
would be able to
little
describe
bit
the
less.
shapes the further
then
we get
the
down.
bottom one you can stack. You can stack Cody's bottle.
Yeah. Goes
Easy to
like
ship.
a fucking door hinge.
Yeah.
Not a door hinge. a fucking
Ivan's
door
might have a
stop.
little puff.
Yeah, the little squeezy. The squeezy thing.
Yeah,
I know
bit of
exactly
that
what you
vibe.
mean.
Yeah.
And he just sprays a wall of it and then runs through
Yeah,
it.
he walks through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I had a list of the best smelling female comedians, but last time I shared it, I wasn't allowed to do the comedy store for 3 years, so I'm not going to share it. I'm just going to keep that in my notes. I said, man, it's not weird. Just like let me
Yeah.
on, and they're like, no, you're on hiatus.
Well, while we attempt to achieve equality, I will reap the benefits of it not being entirely
Do
equal.
you have good smelling female comedians? Anyone that stood out?
Me after I take a shit, I guess.
Top of the list.
So you've got some more dating profiles
I've got some more dating profiles. Here's another one that a person put up, and it had the prompt, I go crazy for...
Bad prompts. Who's writing these prompts? That's too dangerous.
I go crazy for a pair of good-looking wrists.
What?
Okay, you fucking cop.
Yeah.
Good looking wrists.
Yeah, good-looking wrists.
I've never factored in the wrist could be a good looking.
No, and I mean, mine's butchered because I fucking always
Jesus
cut my
Christ.
hand off. But like,
I understand, like, because forearms on men are very attractive. Like a good
Okay.
forearm
Like a Popeye.
is not even like just a like
strong,
yeah,
defined.
yeah, yeah,
That
Okay.
muscle.
yeah. You can see like a striation on there, and that's quite nice.
You know,
I've never had a wrist on a lady. I guess because like hands are a really big thing. Some
Well,
people like really small hands.
I think
Much
Ray
less small
Charles-
dicks.
Ah.
Now
I think Ray Charles used to say like
What did he know about looking
Well,
at
he used to
stuff?
say that he would feel a woman's wrist to know if they were good looking.
Sorry, I should have let you finish.
Yeah.
What's this fucking idiot talking about looking and shit? What do you fucking know about looking?
There was like there's an old story of like that's because he used to like pick up good-looking women, and apparently the old tale used to be that he would always feel a woman's wrist when they were chatting to him, and he would know if they were like good-looking or not, which I think is more him knowing their like shape and size,
Yeah.
really. But like that was the whole story of like Ray Charles would always meet a woman and like they'd touch his hand and be like, and like just be rubbing their wrists.
What is a sexy wrist though in a woman? Is
Yeah.
it just like small or like?
You seeing the veins? Is that what he's into? Like,
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah,
vibe?
visually, I can't imagine what it would be about a wrist.
Yeah, I feel
But
like
then I don't understand feet.
If
and
it's
that's
like this,
huge.
he's like, oh, gay.
Yeah, spend like that. Yeah, that'll really tell you. Yeah, I don't know. What there are some really specific things that people like. You know, like what's the? You don't have a
weird kink.
not a weird kink, but where you go like it's not in the conventional. It's not the face. It's not the boobs. It's not the bum. It's not any of the things that you would go like that's the normal like oh wow, but it's like a wrist. It's like a. Is it
Oh,
a jaw? Like everyone sort of has a little thing.
a little body part thing.
where
don't
they go.
they?
There's
Yeah.
something about like oh you've got a beautiful like I guess eyes is pretty common.
Eyes
Like,
is
I'm big
common.
for an
Yeah, yeah.
What about, do you have one, Pete? I feel like you're sitting on one.
No, well I was trying to think, but then I thought yeah, because mine would be eyes, but then that's not an uncommon thing. What would
Yeah.
be?
And also, someone with blue eyes would say that. Fucking
Thanks.
always looking to bring
I've
it
been told
up.
I have good eyes, but that's alright. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're beautiful. I'd say all three. I'd say it's a beautiful catch of eyes.
Yeah, we've got a great catch here with eyes, and it's such a shame that this is a podcast and no one can see these.
They
Beautiful
can.
little peepers.
Deserve
The
it.
visual component if you're on Spotify.
I've
I've got another one for you, another
Okay.
profile. This one is a profile. It is, this is actually one of my favorites. I'm going to say this guy's name. His name's Ross. This is him right there. Right? And
He
it says,
looks
my
like-
greatest. Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
He looks like Lawrence Mooney's cousin.
That's a very good description. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Ross
Not that I know
Ross
Lawrence
Mooney.
Mooney's cousin, but if he was like, I'm Lawrence Mooney's cousin, I'd be like, yeah, you
Ross
are.
Mooney. Ross Mooney in there. It's his greatest strength. What do you think this guy's greatest strength is?
bringing Lawrence Mooney to parties.
I got a lot of great connections in the comedy world. His greatest strength is.
Can I guess? Hang on.
Yeah.
Fuck. His greatest strength is. I feel like he'll put strength.
My greatest strength is I'm actually pretty strong.
Is my strength.
I'm actually pretty.
Do you want to have any guesses?
I saw what it was.
Yeah.
And that's-
His greatest strength is I'm a grat dad.
Oh, I thought it said grateful from here.
No, I'm a grat dad.
I'm a grat dad. Well, we know what his weakness is. Grandma.
This, but to the tune of Scatman.
I'm a grat dad. Oh man.
Well, I think
That's
he's
my favourite.
only proved his point there because he didn't have time to check for spelling. He was too busy picking up his kids and throwing a ball.
Exactly. What a great dad.
Going to
Also,
ballet recitals.
Again, something that you can't say about yourself. Someone else has to tell you that.
Yeah, my kids say I smell nice.
Chances are, if you say you're a great dad, you're probably a shit dad. I
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no photos of the kids in the profile. I noticed as well.
I'm a great dad, and
It's crazy that I'm available every single weekend.
You look at the background of that photo and there's like a tiny little body floating in the back of the pool. I'm a great dad. It's like, turn around, brother, the gate's open. Gate's open, floaties on the bench. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
No, mate, you were a great dad.
Oh fuck.
Oh man, I never was on a dating app ever in my whole life.
I was only briefly on it. Didn't have much success.
Which one? Tinder?
I was on Tinder for a bit when I was in Cairns, and I think at the time when I was on that dating apps, it was only like Tinder and Bumble, and that was it. So I was just on those.
You went on the app?
I was on Tinder when it first came out in like 13 or something? So way back. And I had one of the most cooked... My bio was not... Today I wouldn't write this, but I tried to use it
I'm
as
a grat root.
So it'd be like, can people see that this is a joke? And so under profession, I put quadriplegic dance instructor.
Fun. Yeah.
And so many people
it was
would
a
just
hit?
be like, that's like such a noble cause. Like that's so...
Oh, fuck,
and I'm
that's
like, you
awesome.
fucking idiots.
That's even better because it's a really good filter for the people that come through.
Oh, yeah, it gets rid of idiots.
Yeah.
That's clever.
That's good stuff. So we've spent so long mucking around not solving one problem, but are we going with the aquarium? I'm guessing we're not going with aquarium guy. We're going with shirtless dude.
I
hat
still
backwards,
like the aquarium
cute
guy
showing.
personally, but I've never fucked one. So I feel like we only can really go off your opinion on this one. So I think you got to go with the backwards hat fish man. Although, what do you think of
Yeah,
them?
I think also barracuda, one of the world's strongest fish. One of the
Well,
most fastest
barramundi,
fish.
I think, is what he's
Barramundi.
referring to, not barracuda.
Ooh,
Barramundi.
sorry. Don't.
That exists,
Chris Franklin will
surely.
hear. He'll have another hit.
If you're listening, mate, 20% of profits to the podcast. Thank you.
A barramundi. Okay, sorry, that's different. Look, I really like the pube showing touch. I find that quite sexual, quite horny,
Like a
quite
trend?
brave. No, just like a little bit hanging
Just letting-
out,
but I mean,
like
it's
letting
like-
the board shorts hang low. I like it.
Okay.
And that's the weird feature I'm into. A little bit of pube tough hanging out.
Good. That's what we're doing. We've done it again.
All right, next problem.
Okay.
Not related to the fish at all.
Not related to the fish. The dude who asked me to be his girlfriend just posted on his Insta a soft launch with another girl. What do I do?
Wait,
That is interesting. So he's asked her to be
his girlfriend.
his girlfriend and has soft launched
With
another
someone
girl.
else.
I have a problem with the soft launch. I don't like it. Can I say?
Can we define soft launch? Hard launch, picture of you with the person. What's
This-
up? This is my
hey,
girl
yeah,
or whatever.
Big
love heart
announcement.
emoji or whatever. Soft launch is where it's like just someone's hand in the corner.
Or is it's just like photos start gradually appearing and people just go, I guess that's his girlfriend.
At full face, that's a hard launch.
Okay.
Oh, you don't
I
even have to
think-
say. As long, really?
I think if there's a new person that you haven't been friends with previously, and you're all of a sudden posting full face photos with them, to me, I'm like, that's a hard launch.
Oh, yeah.
Soft
Yeah.
launch is more like it's like back of someone's head, a sexy wrist, perhaps. You know?
A photo of 2 glasses of wine on the table.
Yes, that's a big soft
That's
launch.
a soft
Probably
launch.
the most popular.
I'm starting
soft
to
launch.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading what the internet tells me, and it does say without face showing, soft launch.
Yeah.
So there you go. So photo of them from the back, soft launch.
Yeah. Photo of their wrists. I'm hard. Launch.
Bit of soft launch porn.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay. So what does this person do? My first question is, and unfortunately I don't have the person here to ask, my first thing you got to ask yourself is, how much do you and the person in the soft launch look alike? Because maybe this
maybe.
bloke's done a little bit of a mix-up.
Just a classic switcheroo.
Thought he was talking to another person. Because it makes you think that if he's asked you, he's obviously asked multiple people.
And
around
it
the
couldn't
same
be
time
a
frame.
misunderstanding of this is a cousin, this is a sister, this is a...
No, because it's like this has been, the assumption is real that this was a soft launch. So,
This is like a next level tough ghost.
yeah.
To be honest.
He's killed you in this ghosting.
Yeah.
He's actually killed you. You're the ghost.
Usually the ghosting happens before he gets to a place where you would ask. You just let it fade out. And it's like you've asked and then gone, oh, wait. I gave it 2 more days and I found someone heaps hotter.
Wait, hold on. But he asked her,
Yeah.
did she say yes? Because if she
Whoa.
said no,
Or if she said, let's just see what it's...
Just posted. So in the context of our show, my assumption would be the guy has asked her.
Yeah.
And then at the day of the show, so I'd say this is a 24-hour period.
okay.
Because it's like the guy's asked me and is just posted on Insta.
But you have to she would have to give a response in the moment
Yeah.
to that question.
Unless he's literally asked in the morning, hey, what do you want to like make this a bit more serious? And then the night has come and it's
then-
him
Yeah,
with a chick having
I don't think a
cocktails.
question like that has like a shot clock where you've got 24 seconds to answer. It's like you let that linger for a couple of days. But you got to acknowledge at least.
But my
Yeah.
thing is, like, you either do want to be someone's girlfriend or you don't.
Yeah.
Like, if there is no answer, the answer is no.
So
in
it's on
my
her,
opinion.
really. That's what we're
Yeah,
saying.
so I think...
We're back in the fella.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel for the chick at the soft launch who's probably unawares that you've gotten the runner-up medal. The other person was disqualified.
And she doesn't know, though, you know?
Yeah.
Unless she also was at the show.
I think that's what the question is. What do I do? This person wants to ruin what has been launched.
Yeah, this other person, Stephen Bradbury, their way into a relationship.
Yeah.
It's a rough way to get into one.
Yeah, had a coffee 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden has got the girlfriend call up.
Yeah. Man, hard to know what to do there except fucking take it on the chin and...
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of it. I feel like you shouldn't ruin this other person's... like, this poor woman that's now in this relationship, it would seem. You're going to go and fuck it up for her.
Yeah.
Because you were a little bit tardy on your texts. You know what I mean?
Also, if you've left him on scene and then he's the kind of guy that would just go on a date with another girl 12 hours later, it's like,
Yeah.
do you want that to be your boyfriend?
Good call.
It's like you guys have a big fight and then
Like,
48 hours
yeah.
later he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't say anything to me for a little bit, so now I'm...
Yeah.
Soft launch girl is back. She'd been waiting in the wings for her big shot.
And yeah, he might smell nice. He might have a radio show. But it's not worth hanging around for, you know?
Yeah, I think you just got to move on, girl. That's my advice.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
agreed.
the only way to do it. We've done it again.
We've done it again. Okay.
All right, we're back in the saddle. Now, Shad, you were mentioning before that you found a little problem in your wallet from the show recently.
So I found this after sending, submitting all of our problems for the show. This was a problem from our most recent show. So we did one just the other week in Brisbane.
Words on it.
It's a double-sider.
Whoa.
So if you're at the Brisbane show, September, whatever it was, 28th, this would be yours. And often with the show, we encourage people like, give us something real, really like pour your heart out. And some people are like, I don't know. And then they finally get inspired. And I think this person was heavily inspired. So I'm going to read it.
Please.
Okay. I couldn't admit to it in person, but I've been on antidepressants the last 14 years. I have recently come off them and have been able to orgasm for the first time in my life.
Hell yeah.
In your life.
Yeah. How do I live with myself knowing the amount of times that I've said to men, and this is in quotes, I'm not saying the female orgasm is a myth, but it's never been a thing for me. I have done a huge disservice to my gender and the future girlfriends of the men I have dated. And then she's written on here, she goes, P.S., how good is this? And it is pretty fucking
That's
good, actually.
a stellar problem. That's a great problem.
This problem's upset me.
Well,
Do you know why?
Why?
I just found out my fiance's on antidepressants.
I loved finding this because what I was referring to at the beginning of the episode and getting to was the show that you did with us in Sydney. One of the most, kind of became a sweet moment, was quite hectic, was a person's problem was, how do I tell my partner I've faked it more than 3 or 4 times? And we read it out, and this lady owned up to it, and she was there with her partner, the cricketer, who was chasing his professional dreams. And you got to experience that moment where Kate Dolan had a real nice heart-to-heart with them in a relationship sense and was like, hey, you got to do this. And we got really, like, down to earth with it. And I saw this problem. I was like, wow, how many people are confessing to not coming at our show? We've got to make it sexier. Yeah. So there you go. What do you think of that?
People love not coming to our show. By the way, reminder, Sydney, October 11th.
This week, Friday.
Get into it. Yeah, wow. So that is a lot to unpack there.
So I think, 14 years, only being able to come for the first time, but telling all these partners that, like, she, like, never, it's a myth is the funniest thing to have
To
said.
go full blanket statement on that.
Well, I think it's fine because I'm assuming most of the people that they would have slept with other women.
Sick.
And
Awesome.
yeah,
I wonder what that's like.
Good on you, lads.
they would have given women an orgasm. And like, I don't know what it's like from the male experience, but I gather you know when you've done it.
Yeah.
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 What?
Yeah.
Don't be coy. Do you see? You know.
Sometimes. I wouldn't say I'd know for sure every time.
Really?
Because for,
You're just
like,
going
for me,
off
you
word.
would know. Yeah, it's a trust fall.
Yeah, it is. The female orgasm is a trust fall.
Yeah.
If it's like, because, the acting there is no acting as a male. You can't pull that off.
I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of, but like not really.
Yeah.
I've
you
had
go
guys
through
try
so-
to,
you
and that's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go through so much you're if you fake it.
Yeah.
It's
You get
expensive.
She all of a sudden has the worst yeast infection.
But I mean, I get a big
If any, I feel like any bloke who says they 100% know all of the time is a liar. Because throughout your
Okay.
whole sexual experience of life, you have to like learn.
With that
And then
being
partner
said,
to
That's right, I
partner, you've
have
got to
Not
learn as well.
recently, but in the past was able to trick a lot of men.
Your heart's not in it anymore.
nah. Back in your prime, you're one of the greats. Hall of Fame career.
Oscar winning performances every week.
Only if he's been good, you know.
I think
He deserves it.
what we're talking about now is a long-term relationship,
Yes.
because there's no reason to lie.
Well, it's like the clutch in your car. You know, like how your clutch works a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know where the friction point is in the clutch to do the
Yeah.
best gear
You know
changes.
when your clutch is lying.
Yeah, but you know when you jump into another car and you're like, where the fuck is the point in this car?
Yeah.
And you've just got to assume that the car's giving you the right feedback.
Sorry, as two allies to compare women to a car.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to get them checked every 12 months. And
Yeah, you take your foot off, it starts making noise.
yeah, that is
How are you guys doing
unreal stuff.
How are you guys doing it? What are you guys doing? I don't think I know what I'm doing in there. But long-term partner, but
This is like,
Oh,
I
can
feel
I
like she
just
is correct.
say-
She's sent a lot of blokes out there thinking that they're fucking awesome.
can I share a little story? This might be... I'll share this and then I'll ask if I was allowed to share it. But I think this is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
This is one of the funniest things that's ever happened. So
Okay.
one time laying in bed with my partner and she's like, oh, I'm just not tired. Can I just, you don't have to be involved, but just like...
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
tired. Yeah, you go for it. She's like, this isn't a sexy one. Like, don't feel the pressure. I'll do this. She
Knock
goes,
the top off. Go
she
to bed.
goes, this is purely mechanical. And I said, I'll just popping the hood up.
That is
Oh
that is
Which I
fantastic.
thought was pretty sick. I was like, nah, let me get in there.
Pop the hood, mate. Let me have a
Yeah,
look
put
at
a
that.
little fucking stick up. I had like a big dirty rag hanging out the back of my jeans.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's a timing belt issue.
yeah. You choked your head up afterwards. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to be working on this for the next week or so. I think before.
Yeah, I'm covered in soot. This thing's fucked.
Yeah. That's a write-off.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so the problem... She's not listening. Fuck, she'll be fine. What was the problem with this? Oh, depressing.
yeah.
She feels guilty because she's done a disservice to her gender by sending a bunch of men out there thinking that either it's a myth or they're they're great lovers, and it was a myth that if someone doesn't come, it's not on them.
I'm going to say something controversial, but...
If you say it is a myth right now...
The Holocaust didn't happen. It's like completely unrelated.
Yeah. It's not that it didn't happen. There was just far less orgasms than they say.
Yeah, Hitler never made the Jews come.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
What's wrong with me?
Oh my God.
What's wrong?
Dear
with me?
Lord.
Oh, jeez.
I think you can still have great sex without coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if the goal is when you both go in is to come, you're not necessarily having great sex. You might just be masturbating with each other.
Oh, that is some good stuff.
And we'll be back next week for another cracking episode. Yeah, wow, that's kind of...
I like that. I think that's
yeah.
and I think that's true as well.
I don't...
As someone who's never made a woman come, I agree.
Yeah, it's all about the journey, boys. But I think that's a fucking very profound thing that you've just said there, and I think that is a good place to end.
100%.
Not a funny note, but...
No, but sometimes, like Pete said at some point in the podcast where he cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really nice to learn.
Yeah, so I think she hasn't committed any horrible crime. If anything, maybe she's made these boys more athletic in the pursuit.
Yeah, don't look at it as a disfavor, as a betrayal of disfavor. Look at it as pulling a cum.
Oh, there we go. A nice little birthday bow on the end of an episode. Great fun times. Thank you very much, Bec. What a treat it's been having you on. Where can people find you?
At Charl Beckwood on Instagram is the best place to see videos and what I'm up to.
You've got specials and all sorts of
Yes,
business.
I have a special on YouTube called Bipolar Baby. You can go see that, and I'm at Bec Charlwood on all the other stuff.
And the new show that's like in the works at the moment.
Yes. Oh, I'm
Which I
doing
really
it at
like.
Adelaide Fringe. I have no details other than that, so stay tuned.
And hopefully we'll see you in Brisbane soon. If you see Bec in Brisbane, be sure to come along. Go and see it. If you live in Sydney, she lives there, so go and see that. And we come and visit there this fucking Friday at the Sydney Comedy Store. So please come along and see us. We would love to sell that one out. Biggest show of the year. Biggest show of our goddamn lives. So come along. Shad, happy birthday, mate.
Thanks, Petey.
Love your guts.
Shad.
Love your guts. We'll be back next week with another cracking episode. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Fun.
That is staying in.
Pulling a burp. Pulling a fucking burp.